How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ask That Podcast on YouTube. Little warning, not safe for work probably. This is 42nd Street Pete presents Grindhouse Purgatory. 10 big ones, cost greatest hits. This is basically a compilation of the best stuff from the first 3 issues of Pete's zine, Grindhouse Purgatory, which covers stuff that played Grindhouse. It covers wrestling because Pete was involved in the wrestling scene a little bit, especially up in the Northeast. I think he worked for 3PW. Love this cover. I mean, look at this. You got Lee Van Cleef. You got shit. It's not Lee Marvin. That's Ernest Borgnine, I think. If I'm wrong, correct me, please. Klaus Kinski. I'm not sure, but on the back here, Happy Cloud Media. So nothing. And this is going to be a harder one to do because the way these are, but... And I apologize, there might be some little nudity popping up here and there, but it ain't going to be too bad. A totally PC interview, and it's PC because that's Pete Chiarella. And he just tells us, what this is. These are available on Amazon. I'm sure Pete sells them on his own site. Okay, 42nd Street Pete's top 20 Grindhouse horror films. Number 1, Blood Feast. Fuck yeah. Number 2, The Flesh Eaters. I've never actually seen that. 3, Night of the Living Dead. Okay, I Drink Your Blood. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is 5. Bloody Pit of Horror 6. I'm not a huge fan of that one. Give me a sec. I got to redo my grip on the camera here. 7 is Zombie. 8 is Maniac. 9 is The Hills Have Eyes. The original, of course. 11 is Grave of the Vampire. That is a badass film. How can you not love a film that's rated PG and opens with a rape in a grave? Exactly. 12 is Mad Doctor of Blood Island. 13 is... That's a cool little film. 14, Cannibal Holocaust. 15, Last House on the Left. 16, Suspiria. 17, Howling. 18, Make Them Die Slowly, a.k.a. Cannibal Ferox. 19, Basket Case. I'm glad that showed up. 20, Horror Express. Besides, Flesh Eaters, and there's one other one on here. That's the only... I don't know if I've seen Mad Doctor of Blood Island. Besides those two, I can't argue against any one of these in a good way. Lost Saturday Night to Venus. Just really good articles. The Harlots of 42nd Street. Talking about the hookers. And Pete's about the massage parlors and all that shit. Here is... Is that... Oh, God, what is his fucking name? Ted V. Michaels. The lady looks familiar, too, but there's Ted V. Michaels, that mustache. And Linda Shaw. Linda Shaw was a porn star. I don't really think I've seen anything with her in it. Here's one, The Roots of Mondo, Kane, Africa, Blood and Guts. Good little article. I wish it was a little bit longer. This kind of reminds me of, in kind of collection like this, the Cinema Sewer zine. Robin Bougie through Fab Press have been putting out books that collect I think the first one might collect 5 issues. The best of articles, and he had a big article on all the Mondo movies in that. The King of Spaghetti Westerns and the King of Spaghetti Westerns, The Fall and Resurrection of Lee Van Cleef. Oh, man. And I will admit that I like what I've seen of Lee Van Cleef. I've seen Fistful of Dollars. I've seen a few dollars more. Once Upon a Time in the West. I have not seen The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. And they don't mention... Here we go. The one I seen... that got me into it was Death Rides a Horse. Because it's public domain and it was easy to find. The Big Gun Down. This is a long-ass article. Codename Wild Geese. Lee Van Cleef, Ernest Borgnine, Klaus Kinski. Couldn't give Lewis Collins the rub. That's what the cover's from, pretty much. Kick ass. I actually got to see this. Codename Wild Geese. Talk about a blah leading man. Watching Lewis Collins act is like watching the lemon pie go sour at your local grocer. Maybe it's me, but this guy has zero charisma. He was a big British TV star on a show called The Professionals. He did 4 feature films. All his other work was British television. Some more of the cast. Good, really good remembrance of Andy Kopp. Passed away. God, it's been a while now. Excuse me. I have the Mutilation Man and the Atrocity Circle of his films. That's the only 2 I have. I want this Quiet Nights of Blood and Pain. Andy made independent film. He's kind of, besides this, he's best known for being one of the best tape traders ever fucking lived. And he worked with Jim Van Beber on My Sweet Satan, I know, maybe something else. So if you're a Van Beber guy, so I look for Andy Kopp does similar stuff. He, like I say, he's not around anymore. He passed away. Great Grindhouse double features. And The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. I've never seen The Boy Who Cried Werewolf, but there's... I reviewed that on my blog quite a few years ago. I've seen Ghouliarian of it at that. Oh, there's The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. Looks like my dog If she could walk and wore clothes. The last gasp of my favorite Grindhouse, the Embassy Theater. What's that? Is that the Shanghai Joe? Okay. Here we go. He was hardcore before hardcore was cool. A great article on the passed away Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer by 42nd Street Pete and CinemaWasteland.com's Kent. This was a great article. Honestly, if you're an old school wrestling fan and don't mind reading about older films, this is almost worth buying just for this article. I know it's $10. And if you're usually offended, there's stuff in there that will offend you, but this is let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages on Buzz Sawyer. It is so good. So good. One of the best horror novels you never heard of, William W. Johnson. I always like finding out about different horror novels because, I grew up in the 80s. All you ever heard about was Koontz, King, Clive Barker. There was others out there, but you had to really dig to find out anything about them. So always finding out about new ones is always fun. The Northville Cemetery Massacre. Some films defy description and wind up actually better than they are advertised, such as the case for the Northville Cemetery Massacre. Strolling around the Deuce, I spied a one-sheet poster with a fat redneck cop holding a shotgun with the tagline, "The day Law and Order went berserk." Who did this? I guess Pete, because there's no byline. The Cutthroats 9. Remember a movie I never went to? This was a cool article about Pete kind of getting fucked up and then going to the wrong movie, if I remember right. Been a little while since I read this. I've had this for a little bit. Got it like early January. Double feature review. Octoman and the Spawn of Slithithus. I've never seen either movie, but Bill Adcock does some good stuff. Wasn't Bill Adcock the guy that was the lead in Van Nuys Boulevard? Or is that Bill Sadler? Midwest Grindhouse. Nothing but the blood. Grew up in Kalamazoo, so it's a Michigan Grindhouse. Hey, Bat. When you watch your shit, do something like your area. It's Michigan, Kalamazoo. Forgotten Bloody Horrors. This is another Pete article. Caltiki, Blood Feast, The Flesh Eaters, Cannibal Apocalypse, which it's not really that forgotten. The Blood Island Trilogy, which I need to read this article. I've not read this one because I want to see these. I think something weird has them. There's that Mad Doctor of Blood Island. Like I said, really good stuff in here. Celeste Yarnell. Okay, she was in The Velvet Vampire. She was on Star Trek. She was Ron Gold Beer Girl at 18. No idea who that is. If they showed her scene from Star Trek, that's the sad thing, I probably know her from that. She looks familiar. Enter the Dragon, exit Bruce Lee. Everybody was kung fu fighting. This is a good little article about how 40 years ago, this movie came out and Bruce Lee was dead, so. We got Bruceploitation. Pete's great article on hand jobs and hamburgers, the wonderful world of New York City massage parlors. I'm just showing the ads. I'm not going to read any of this shit because I'll definitely get your ass flagged. Cannibal Cook-Off, Lindsay versus Diodato, Deep River Savages versus Ultimo Mundo Cannibal, which would be... what the fuck's the other name? Is that Last Cannibal World? Some of these films had so many fucking titles. I get them mixed up. Make them die slowly. See a lot of good writing there. And it's black and white, but the poster reproductions and still reproductions is good. My VHS Odyssey. This was a good thing about how Pete got into selling VHS and ended up going into selling porn. Really good articles. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's long, I remember. 7. Corey Udler, my attempt at a non-confrontational article. The top 5 movies that sculpted my view of what weird movies are and can be. The Aster Zombies, good choice. Deranged, great movie. I think it's out on Blu-ray now. Blood Feast, of course. Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. I was just talking about that with Cody LL the other night. Andy Warhol's Frankenstein. Okay. I don't know Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. The American Western, an early Grindhouse staple. Yeah, this is another Pete article about how, people forget Westerns played a lot at the Grindhouses. Woody Strode, from 5-star films to Grindhouse action. Another one I have not read. 42nd Pete's Top 20 American Grindhouse Westerns. Young Fury, Rio Conchos, Veracruz, The Magnificent Seven, of course, number 4. Hang 'em High Five, Ride at High Country, Major Dundee, The Wild Bunch, Support Your Local Sheriff, El Condor, There Was a Crooked Man, and Chateau's Land. Oh, more. High Plains Drifter, okay, I've seen that. Barquero, I would guess, Big Jake, Ride in the Whirlwind, The Hunting Party, The Long Riders, Oh shit! I actually watched this, The Long Riders, not that long ago, because the cast. It's got David, Keith, and Robert Carradine, and Dennis and Randy Quaid, and they're playing brothers in the film too. Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid in The Wrath of God. Okay, Growing Up Driving, Humble Beginnings by Ken Kish. And where was this drive-in? Cleveland. See, I don't even know the name of the drive-ins I went to as a kid. I'm of that age where I hit them as a kid, but you know, in my area, like the last drive-in that was close by probably closed in like 80. So I was a young kid when they closed. Went to, there was one in like Goshen, Mississippi. This is about Q the Winged Serpent. I know there was one or two in Pascagoula. Oh, here we go. Another. Is this another? Yeah, I skipped the page. The Bloody Story of East Coast Indie Wrestling. This is Pete's story about working for these different, after ECW folded all these different groups. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages on this. It's pretty good. There's him and just recently signed to the WWE Performance Center, Mercedes Martinez. Good article. Another good wrestling article. This book, really, for the $10, the 2 wrestling articles are worth it, and then everything else is just bonus. I mean, come on, fucking Basket Case. If you haven't seen Basket Case and you're watching this channel, what the there? Wow. Okay, I'll kind of cover. Good Night, Sweaty Prince. This is Remembering Al Goldstein, 1936 through 2013. Flip that page. Okay. It's an Al Goldstein article talking about screws, so you know, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to show. Okay. Roots of Exploitation, Jungle Jitters. 5 came back from eternity. God's Gun, goddamn awful Last Western. Diamante Lobo with Lee Van Cleef and Jack Palance and Richard Boone. Forgotten Horrors, The Manster. Not forgotten. Only thing I don't like about these zines you get is like you get a couple pages. I wish there was shit there, but yeah, definitely worth the $10. Worth checking out. If I enjoy, I ordered this in an actual issue, a regular issue of the zine. If I just ordered this, I would have ended up ordering the regular issue because I enjoyed this more enough that I want to see some more of it. But yeah, check out Pete, 42nd Street Pete. I want to thank Back 32 of Exploited Cinema. Was it Weird World Publishing's his company? Sleazy Magazine also. Look for Sleazy. I think it's like Sleazy Magazine it's on Facebook. It's Sleazy Magazine. He recommended this too. He recommended Pete to me in Grindhouse Purgatory. But yeah, check this shit out. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I mean, if you did, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all the other bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.